CCTV. Happy New Year. We believe that within the 15th day of the Lunar New Year, we still call it the Lunar New Year celebration period. Welcome to our live stream series for the Chinese New Year. And if you stay tuned to our program, you would notice that there is a red color decorated bus traveling across the country to show us the different cities. And today we have arrived in the capital city of our central province of Henan, which is the city of Zhengzhou. And you have multiple choices in terms of the channels to have access to our live streaming programs. We have 4 options. For those that are interested in the voyage of our journalists in the Zhengzhou City, please choose the channel 2. And if you are more interested in our indoor interpretation of all the knowledge and events, please stay tuned to the channel 1. And if you choose our channel 1, then you may be selected as the lucky star to win our gifts during the live stream program. So with all the series of this program, the Chinese New Year, you will be able to travel around the country without stepping outside your residence. And we have 2 special guests. Please say hi to our audience. My name is Xu Yihang. I'm from the group of Huacai Shaonian. I'm from the major of opera performing. So during this year's gala event, Mr. Xu has performed very well, which has impressed all of us. We have also a foreign friend with us. My name is Luo Fei. Hello to everyone. I'm from the Transportation University of Xi'an. I'm a foreign student in China. You speak very well Chinese. So you've been here for 5 years, exactly. So you are from the country which is called Barbados. It's a very small country. Where is your country exactly? So you know that the Caribbean. So it's in the Mid-America. You know Cuba. So it's quite close to that area. So for Cuba, they are very famous for the production of the coffee beans, but for Barbados, we are very famous for the production of the sugar cane. So you're quite limited in the surface of the country. Will you have a guess about our population? Less than 1 million, 0.5 million? Less than 300,000 for the whole country. So you don't have winter in your country? Yes. So throughout the whole year, we have around 20 to 30 degrees Celsius. So you will be wearing the t-shirts throughout the year? Yes. So now you two know each other very well. And today we're about to see how people celebrate the Chinese Lunar New Year in Zhengzhou. And Mr. Xu, what is your major exactly? It's the opera performing with the puppet. Actually, we are holding the strings that will control the movement of the body parts of the puppet. This is also the intangible cultural heritage of our country, one of it. And behind the screen, we will sing in the name of the puppets. So we have to recite all the lines for the performance. And we have to practice a lot for that. So we will never show off in front of the screen. Instead, we will stay on backstage, but we will speak out for the puppets. And now we also have a very rare opportunity to be able to perform I mean in front of the public. And Luo Fei, what is your name? My name is Mario. So my Chinese name has actually no connection with my real name in English. I don't know how my teacher selected this one as my Chinese name. So what is your official language in your country? It's English, not French. So you've stayed 5 years in China, and during the past 5 years, you've never returned to your country. So now I can say that you are a great expert of the Chinese nation and also of its civilization and culture. You're half Chinese now. So what do you do usually during the Spring Festival in China? In the past, I would travel around, but last year, due to the pandemic, I stayed at home, and this year is quite special. When I was staying at home, I tried to make some dumplings together with the classmates. Because I had an apartment of my own, so I have invited the other foreign friends in the class to my residence. So we have decided to make some dumplings. So we have also invented some special tastes of the stuffings for the dumplings. So what kind of stuffing have you invented exactly? We have added the ham. What types of the hams? The very thin slices of the ham. Are you talking about the bananas? No, they are the real hams. I have added the hams inside the stuffing of the dumplings. We also have the classmates of Pakistan, so they have also added sweet potatoes inside. So you are making the dumplings in a way that you are making the pizza. What about Mr. Xu Yihang? What's your way to celebrate the Chinese New Year? Last year during the pandemic, I stayed in Shanghai, and this year I decided to go back home and pay a visit to my family members to get united with the rest of the family. I really had a very cozy vacation. So upon your arrival, your parents must be very happy. And later on, because I stayed home all the day, and my parents started to encourage me to go out. And because our program today has the theme of celebration of Lunar Chinese New Year in Zhengzhou City, do you know anything about the city of Zhengzhou? I know they have the stewed beef. Yes, I have a colleague that also comes from the same province of Henan. He usually would like to share the recipe for the stewed beef with me and also the roasted chicken. And what about you, Luo Fei? So maybe next year you would come to our channel to celebrate the Lunar New Year. And usually for our selection of the dishes for the eve of the Lunar New Year, there is the consideration, for example, for the fish, because in Chinese language we have a proverb goes like, if you have the fish, then its meaning is that you can always have a surplus, because the surplus and the fish have the same pronunciation in the Chinese language. And what about your country? For the celebration of the New Year, we'll just eat the sugar cane? No, you must be kidding. We also have our pasta. We have the noodles. Based on what? Based on wheat? I don't know. It's kind of like the lasagna from the Italian cuisine, and we will also add up some more meat like the chicken or mutton inside, and also the hams, and also bigger slices of the hams. In our Zhejiang province, people also prefer the hams. When I visit France, I found a lot of overseas Chinese there, and they come from the Zhejiang province, and they will put the melon together with the slices of the hams. That is a favorite option for the foreigners. And even for the overseas Chinese, they prefer to eat in the Chinese way. And what about you, Mr. Xu? Are you used to the Shanghai cuisine? No, because they always add too much sugar inside their dishes. I'm not used to that. Especially in the very beginning, I don't like it. And what impressed you the most during your visit in Zhengzhou City? Just now I had a first glance at it, and it's quite enriched. What impressed me most, I believe that is the soup, the spicy soup called the soup of hula. We made it by ourselves. So later we will see the footage of your making of the hula soup, the spicy soup with the pepper. And we also have a tradition to celebrate the New Year in Barbados. By 11 p.m., so just before the countdown for the New Year, we will first climb up the small mountains, and then we will run down, and then we will jump inside the sea. And in the water, in the seawater, there are some lightning creatures. And we'd like to jump into the seawater in order to have a fresh start of the new year. So in Barbados, everyone must be very good swimmer. What is your record? Usually from the side of the beach, we will swing forward to reach the tourist ships carrying the Europeans. And the Europeans, they are used to it, and they are ready to take out their cameras to take the photos of us and post them on the website. And what about Mr. Xu Yihang? Do you believe that the celebrations of the Lunar New Year vary from now compared to the past? Yes, because years ago we still have a very diversified range of activities to celebrate the Lunar New Year. We can have a lot of fireworks and also the crackers. And one notice for our viewers, please don't drop the crackers inside the wells because it's quite dangerous. It will cause explosion. And Mr. Xu Yihang, do you remember that in your childhood, we would follow a certain procedure for the celebration of the New Year? Yes, it's the only chance, only day that we could stay up late in the night, because usually your parents would urge you to go to bed very early in the night because we are children, we are not allowed to stay up late. But for the celebration of the New Year, for the Lunar New Year, on the eve we can stay there for the whole night. And we also have to show our respect to the elderly persons and also the ancestors. We have to practice the koto. So it's the act of the deep respect shown by the younger generation, and we will kneel down and bow so low as to have your head touching the ground. So again, dear viewers, for today's live streaming program, we have prepared a lot of gifts for you. And let's check out what we have prepared for today's gifts. We have the gift box, the red envelopes, and also a notebook, so that you can learn a lot of knowledge during the new year and put all the notes inside. So how can we win such a gift? Please stay tuned to our program. And also we have this very beautiful scarf in red color with a character, the Chinese character in the ancient calligraphy style. This is a character for the word spring in Chinese, and it's very soft. So only when I'm with the scarf will people tell that it's winter, it's still winter and around the spring season. And my friend by my side is wearing the t-shirt, so we are in different seasons now. And today, if you want to win the gift, please send the code you have to send the several Chinese characters, and we will make the screenshot. If your name is in the live screenshot, then you will be selected as the lucky star of the day to win our gift. And please don't forget to bind your phone number with our platform, with the live streaming program platform. So later, if you are selected, then our personnel will contact you to send this gift to you through delivery services. So you look a little bit different in the footage. So now it's a footage about the spicy soup. So what are you holding? It's our task. There is a word in Chinese written on that. It means the soup. So what about this gentleman? Is it pre-selected by the program, or is just a random encounter on the street? We don't know. So I believe that whoever you ask on the street of the province of Henan, he or she must tell you where you can find the hula soup, the spicy and pepper soup. And it's not only the specialty of the food in Henan province. You can also find it in Xi'an, but actually the taste of it, the taste of the soup, may vary from province to province. I have also visited this province in person, and I've tasted the soup. It's really spicy. And people have also added a lot of salt inside. But in winter, it's a very good option because it can help to warm up the whole body. And you can also add up some fried foodies inside. And in my hometown in the northeastern part of China, in Zhengzhou City, we also have our soup. And in the Henan province, you will only have this spicy soup during your breakfast, right? Yes. And for lunch, we will have noodles instead. So for the soup is not the staple food. We have the stuffed buns with the meat inside. And also as staple foods, we have the fried youtiao, which is a kind of the Chinese cruller. So we can have some grapes. It's the sesame sugar. For our Chinese, during a chat or when we are watching the television, we will have some snacks. And what about these? These are the melon seeds. You've never tasted these, even though you've stayed in China for 5 years. Never is my first time to taste the melon seeds, which is called the guazi in Chinese. For 4 major festivals during the whole year in our channel, the CCTV4, we will have many hours of live streaming programs. So I will select the seed for you. We should select the fat ones. But you have to pay attention to your teeth too. You should have this correct method to crack the melon seeds. So is it really the first time for you to taste the melon seeds? Yes. Try another one. I got the method. For us, the fans of the melon seeds, we can also use the hands to crack or break the melon seeds. It smells really good. So where do those seeds come from? We have several kinds of the seeds. Do you have options? From the bamboos? From the sunflowers? I'll give you 2 options. Just choose one out of it. Oh, I will take the second one, the sunflowers. So when tasting the seeds, it can give you the taste of the sunshine. But this is not directly taken from the sunflower. We have to fry them with the ingredients. So now the footage has started. So we will see how many ingredients they will put inside the soup. So you know how to cook, yes. Because I've been staying outside my country for many years. So what we eat? Noodles, it's more like the pasta, more like the lasagna, and also the potatoes, and also the sea fish. What do you eat as the sea fish, the flying fish? Now finally I know why I got this name, the Chinese name, 罗非, because 飞 means flying in Chinese language. Finally got the answer. So the flying fish is the major option as the sea fish. So have you ever seen the film made by Mr. Li An? It's called The Pie.
然后就是有一个片段我印象特别深，一群飞鱼，它真的是会飞，
真的是会飞一点点啊，它这
So in the film, we have already watched the flying fish.
真的，来吧，
So the flying fish
好吃吗？
好吃，
know how to fly?
你可以试试。
没有，
If they can really fly, then you will just take a nest and wait by the shore.
太远，
不远。
那个
我们做胡辣汤，你看我的这个。
Do you have available a flying fish product in the market? No, we don't have that. Then you have to come to Barbados.
你的手适合高举，不适合低放。
So look at my hand, look at my gesture. It's quite professional. The way that I'm adding the ingredients inside.
哎，是不是一个演员？
对，他是。
啊，看他有点眼熟。
What about the third
你看这，
他是享受那个城乡
people inside? It's Mr. Cao Jun is one of the the young actors in China.
军哥那个脸啊，好的。
没关系，现在你父母那一辈看到我们都说，哎呀，我看节目长大。我说真的吗？还能尝呢。这个
So you're also tasting
调汁儿是不是？
the soup while making
那
it.
里边这有什么？就是
The most important part for the making of the soup is the making of the sauce.
配料嘛，面筋有
We have to prepare the bread gluten
干花、
黄花菜。
黄花菜，对，黄花菜有木耳，
and also some dried vegetables and also the dried mushrooms
我们那天放了可多肉，我那天把那老
and also some meat. We have added a lot of meat inside.
我说我不卖那肯定得肉，我那肯定得实惠是吧？然后把那盆儿全倒进去。
对，
结果老板说，好，特别好。
Actually, I
妈妈
put
做的胡辣汤好吃吗？
a lot of meat inside, so I thought that the cost behind would be rising up.
这都是秘方，
哎啊，他们调的料。
对，这都是秘方。
其实就是咱们今天不说正
And the sauce preparation is also a very important business secret because when you do
本
the
来是一种
homemade soup, the spicy and pepper soup is not as delicious as the one offered by the restaurants.
对是就是。
每天都离不开面。我们也有个主持人王周，
And I find that in northern part of China, especially around the central region towards the north, like in Shanxi province and also Henan province,
真的，
people are really fond of the noodles and the pasta, the wheat and bread-based
我说天哪，
foodies,
主食，这真的
like the bun, the steamed buns.
习惯不一样。搅淀粉，那为什么啊？对，就还得勾
So in
芡一下
different areas and regions of China, people really have different habits of eating.
相当。
哎，真的，我觉得这个罗非啊，你的手法比他们看着要熟练。一看就平时还是做饭有。
And Luo Fei, it seems like you are more familiar with this whole procedure of soup making
很少，
because you are a local.
那是买鱼的。
贝壳类的。
And when you are in Xi'an, you can always find
很难
the
做
seafood.
很难做出来
Yes.
所以我都会贝壳类的是真的是。
But I only cook with the fish, not with the shells.
你们为什么3合1变就是 PK 变成3合1了？
就一进去告诉我们说就是一个竞技，后来那个老板，然后以为我们不知道，然后把我们3盆全部倒在一锅。
So in the footage, we can see that you three people, you are competing one with another in stirring the soup.
这个怎么这个得搅拌这么久啊？
对。
要保证那个淀粉没有。
So we have to spend a lot of time in the stirring
我
part.
们的感受就是一直搅。
哎呀，那
Finally, there will not be any blocks of the
有的
wheat.
时候这个手劲儿特大是吧？哎，对，你们平时怎么锻炼臂力呢？
And you must be very good at it because you are a student from the major of the performance for puppets. So you have to hold the puppets all day long.
应该是二头。
二头和肩。
So you have very developed muscles
右肩
in your arms.
啊，是有一点，是
对，
有一点。
就是一直举着，一直举着，然后
And you only use your right arm. You have to hold up
左右手同时开成
the puppet.
这左边手就是方便一点，
你能不能就不带木偶跟我们随便比划比划？
比划比划。
露脸吗？
So will you show us how you perform with the puppets?
有一次就是人偶同台，我的处
Will you show your face to the audience? It depends. Sometimes we have to show our hands,
啊，这很有韵味啊，这个动作哈。
and sometimes we will show
这个
with
是
our
就是你们
face.
非遗当中的传统手势嘛，就是都是这样的一个手势嘛。
So this is a typical gesture in this intangible cultural heritage.
木偶的一小分支，然后还有其他木偶，比如说
What we practice is actually a branch of the puppet performance art.
去挂线在这儿。
We have the puppets with the strings and also the
它跟木偶其实不一样。
leather shadowing.
但是皮影我们也是在那幕后拿那个操纵杆，这一手。
We have also learned the shadow play, the shadow graph.
哇，你看他的手
But
指头啊。
usually we will perform with the
哎，你跟我们那个来两句呗，就是。
puppets with the strings and also the puppets in clothes.
你有没有在？
And you have really flexible fingers because you have to manipulate the puppets all day long.
今天我们这个很多引流。
So we'd like to invite Mr. Xu to perform a little bit for us.
勿要散，没散。
So you have created a
啊，
song.
要散哈。
中要散，一首我的原唱歌曲，我唱几句那个我副歌吧。
A song written by yourself.
你好，我爱你。哎呀，哎呀，你这别。
过时不候，请把手绢丢在我身后。
哎呀，丢手绢这是个梗哎，你知道
K 梦老师，K 梦老师你肯定。
丢手绢你会唱吗？我们从小在幼儿园，那个。
So here in the lines, we heard the word, the expression of throwing the handkerchief. It's actually a game for the children. When we were in the kindergarten, we will sing this song every day. Indoor or outdoor, the children would form a circle, and there is one of them that will run after them outside the circle, and suddenly this child would drop down the handkerchief behind one of the children in the circles, and then you have to notice this movement immediately. And if you have the handkerchief by your back, you have to stand up and chase behind and try to catch the person that has thrown the handkerchief to you. So this is a habit or a game passed from one generation to another. And now your spicy soup is almost made. So they have used the white pepper in the spicy soup. What about the other ingredients? Some other spices? No, only with the peppers. I remember the day I tasted this pepper spicy soup. My other colleagues who are local in the province, they are adding some more extra pepper powder inside the spicy soup, as if it's not yet spicy enough for them. And for you to taste the fish, you will not add up the spices. Instead, you will squeeze the lemon and have the lemon sauce, lemon juice. To get the flavor. And in the northern eastern part of China, for example, in my hometown, we will prepare the cabbage, the stewed cabbage. First, we will have a preparation of the cabbage, put them in the big jar, in the big vat, and then we wait for the fermentation, and we will add up some sea salt. And finally, we have the pickled Chinese cabbage. And we can also use it as one part of the stuffings for the dumplings, and it tastes really good. So until now, I believe it's time for us to select the first lucky stars to win our gift. Please don't forget to enter our code.
第一次抽奖我来哈。那我看看啊，我们的抽奖的奖品是每个人能得到3份礼品，就是我们一个央视频的新月礼盒，一个春节的围巾，还有一个央视频的
For every lucky star selected, you can win 3 things. The first is the gift box, and second is the red scarf, and the third is the toy of our channel. So please enter the code message, and we're about to make the screenshot. You have to enter the 8 Chinese character. So now the screenshot is made. I'll show to everyone my screenshot. I'm about to read the names. The first one is 皮鲁特. So for the first round, we have selected 5 lucky stars, and you're about to win our gifts. And Luofei, do you know how to speak in the dialect of Henan province? In order to say okay, you have to say 中.
还有那个我们河南人菜说咦，是吧？
咦，
你没有听到吗？
带劲。
就是它是一个语气助词，就是你假如说那个你说这个什么我来请客。
And also people usually would say 耶。
用这个感觉的。
你说一下，我来请客。
It's a kind of model particle.
咦，你蝌蚪，再多几次也中。
河南还有什么挺有名的话叫？我刚才我还在我朋友圈
可带劲。
What about the other expressions in the dialect?
是这意思是吧？
很舒服，很爽。可带劲。
东北也应该很有这种，就比较
Like the 可带劲。
比较有名的方言，是吧？
And in the northern eastern part of China, you also have very interesting expressions in your local dialect. We will change the tones of pronunciation. We will always use the 4th tone, and we will go down in the tones. So for the whole tone, it's always dropping down. But I'd like to give you a notice here. Once you start to speak in the dialect of the northern eastern part of China, it's quite hard for you to go back to Mandarin. And every year for the Lunar New Year Gala performance, we will have the talk show and the other performances made or realized in the dialect of the northern eastern part of China. And what about this in the footage? You're visiting one of the local parks of the Emperor Huang and the Emperor Yan. And for you, Luofei, because you are in the Shanxi province, you could go to check the tomb of an emperor. Do you know who is who? Because we have the 2 emperors, the Emperor Huang and Emperor Yan. And today we say that all the Chinese people, we are the offsprings of the 2 emperors, Yan and Huang. What about your task visiting this park?
一会儿就看到，
You will find out about this later on from our footage. It's about the painting. We have an expert of the folk culture. This expert first gives me a message, and I will give it again to another person, and then it's like a transcendence of the message. And from one person to another, there is a very long distance, so you have to spring forward.
鱼的记忆只有7秒，那船的完全不一样了。
就是有2句。
So for Luo Fei, you have totally forgotten the message. There are 2 sentences. So during my jogging from one place to another to reach to another person, I immediately forgot about the second sentence. So I lost half of the message.
要是传英语可能还好一点。
你们可以试一试，我觉得。我可以给你们说一个，就是英语。
So if the message is in English, it's better.
一个名言，然后让你们来传。
那还跑不动啊。
So maybe we can do this with the combination of English and the dialect from Barbados.
简单开始吧，我觉得。
So we will start with the easy ones.
你怎么走笑场啊？
We will try to deliver the message from one person to another to see how it ends up. Are you ready?
你快点，你又上不上？
又忘了，又忘了。
像什么？大绵羊。
来。Roses are red, violets are blue. Roses are red, violets are blue. 喂，等一下，我给你表演一个节目。
Wait a second. Before you can deliver the message to the lady, I'll give you a performance.
我听着这个是
这
这个。
Rose 什么玩意儿？就是也是。
他说他的名字吧。然后第2句是。
2个花。
The rose is red，对不对
There are 2 sentences I know.
你怎么听到的？
你说的很大声吧？
Actually, I already
然后第2句
overheard you.
的 blue， 不，他说2朵花。
对。
第2种是什么？第2种我没听懂。
我不知道了，
尤其他还吃着东西传的。对，你怎么说的？第二
我这是 Roses are red, violets are blue， 这就是一个。
8颗。
Roses are red, and then violets 是另外一种花 are blue。
Violet
是一个非常一个不知道，它就是一个很漂亮的一个花。它
So do you know the violets?
但是它不一样，它的就是。
It's a very beautiful flower.
你可以去查一下。
Similar to the roses, but they are in the blue color. So later on, you could have a check.
所以现在你可以理解我的痛苦。
巴巴多斯的那个就是画呀，或者是。
So now you can understand it's not so easy for a foreigner to deliver a message in a different language. And for someone who can only speak English, is it hard for them to understand the dialect of Barbados? It's just like the dialect of Beijing with the Mandarin. So if you stay in Barbados for 3 months, you can understand easily our dialect. So you have a female president? Yes, and we're very proud of that. I know this because I have reported on your country. During our program, I've also mentioned that this country, Barbados, has a female president. So, Luo Fei, you can be a cultural messenger of your country. How many people from your country are here in China? No more than 20. What is your major? Now in China, it's for the management. So later you're about to be a boss. Maybe.
那个我们看春晚，一个标配瓜子儿、茶水。你喜欢喝中国 tea 吗？
So when we watch the TV, especially during the gala performance period, we will have some drinks, and also take the sunflower seeds.
来了，你看，你
我
看
们，各自
And
选
now
一
is
个
the
点，
footage
最喜欢的点
for the
明白什么意思吗？
transmission of the message.
中国最有名的顶
And behind everyone, it's
一行能知道
你。好，
最有名
a
的点。
bronze jar. It's called the ding in Chinese language.
鼎它是那个古代祭祀用的一个器物。哎呀，我发现你真的是。
哎呀，
These are the ancient objects that we used in the ancient rituals.
董一老师是戏曲频道的主持人，是我们华彩少年的。
啊，董毅呀，哎，没有看出来呀，这华彩少年的制作人。
对。
啊，啊，董毅这里像小姑娘一样，真的没有看出来。
他还说河南话，
啊，你这个确实是太难了。
那太难了是吧？
And this expert, he speaks the local dialect. So it's quite hard for me to recite the whole message.
出发了，特别认真啊，特别认真。
These two lines are from the famous Chinese poem.
我就是想跟他表演个节目。
齐飞说。
哎呀，哦，哎呀，
崩溃
啊！
第二句怎么也讲不起来。
哎呀！
哎，这表情可以做表情包了。
受不了了。
宝贝，你快看看你那个。
So you cannot remember the second phrase, the second sentence.
第二句死活想不起来，我这个真的是难为你了。我觉得中国的小朋友出来也够呛。
别说话。
I think it's a bit too difficult for you.
这不错。
Even for a Chinese, a young Chinese cannot recite such a message.
我觉得他应该能想的，对，因为你是河南的。
但我
不，他是这样的，他这个想不到是那个。
But for you, Mr. Xu, I believe that you can guess the message.
我就不知道在想什么。
And now it's the turn of Mr. Xu to give this message to a third person.
是要求用河南话来传呐。
我不知道是河南话，结果他说出了一种四川话的感觉，夺下去鼓舞齐飞。
你别说，你第一句话说的6个字都对了。
So from Mr. Luo Fei, this dialect sounds like the dialect from Sichuan province.
小曹同学崩溃了。
有很严重的问题，我知道。
And the third person, he really had the headache in understanding the message.
哎，你别
后
说啊，
边还吊嗓子还吊上去。
你这个原汁原味的把它给传播出去了。
So you're copying the sentence from Luo Fei 100%, including that accent, the funny accent.
但就
因为
不知道那个是
我们
什么。
知道原文是什么了，所以在这儿就能够听得到。但如果真的是这个蒙着来的，是
就到公布答案前。
So because now we know the answer in advance, we can hear that message out of the sentence. But by then, because you are trying to pass that message without knowing exactly the characters in Chinese, it's quite hard for you
这都传的
to
还挺不
guess
错的，对吧？
that line.
挺好的。
完了，这用普通话就一点原来的味儿都没有了。
就反正起飞2个字儿就听得最清楚。
我觉得说的像暗语一样。
您刚才说的那个话2句，对吧？这对了吧？啊，然后后面那句呢，是不记得。罗下雨，西北秋水长天一色。你看怎么传的？罗下雨，雾起飞。你看出这。所以就是说你这是没传对吧？
哎，其实我觉得啊，应该传一个，就是说在河南比较有名的这个建筑，可能会更明白，
也是一句诗。
他们就是想难到我。
So it's quite hard for you to pass the message
哎，你这句话学会没有？这句话
based on the
本身
poem.
它就是一个很有名的古文。中国的古文你读过吗？
These two lines are quite famous in China because we all learned the poem, the long article in our textbook during the middle school.
准确，因为
用河南话再说一遍来。
落霞与
落下雨，西北。
哇，
这是去找
我们
任务
就开始跑了，我们跑了半天，我跑到延禧广场，哎，可运动了，哎呀，今日运动达标。
So that day,
你们要有体能的吧？
we did a lot of jogging, a lot of sports.
我们有跑圆场，举着木偶跑圆场。
So in your school days, you also have to do a lot of sports.
不能停就不能停，
那一般多长时间呢？
控制节奏，看他心情。
Yes, because we have to hold the puppet and continue to run until the master says stop.
我想不到这个木偶。
And the master will also will beat the drums at the same time to control the tempo of our steps.
像四川那边比较大。
And how heavy is one puppet? For every piece, it's
平
around
时表演多吗？
2 kilos. And for the Sichuan province, traditional puppet is even heavier.
从那些
We will go to the kindergartens to play for the children, to send the joy and happiness to them.
我觉得你肯定跑得最快。
但是我的人数最少。
你的什么最少？
我没去找有名的。
And you have also competed one with another for the running.
这个说出多少？
庄子啊，
How many famous person from Henan province could you
河南
recognize?
名人非常
非常多，我发现特别多。
Actually,
很多哲学家。
in the past, there were many famous people coming out from this province.
那你那天
What about Liu Bei? He's from Shandong province, no?
我还记得你跑的这个。
你尽管跑得快，但是认识的少。
你知道那摄像老师说少找几个，少找一会儿我还少补几个特写。
文天祥啊，
And this is Wen Tianxiang.
啊，你们这个
But he's from Jiangxi
文化广场
province.
上面就是说，历代的中国的名人都在其中，是吧？
So this is a cultural plaza with the statues of all these famous features from the Chinese history. And they are from different provinces. And our guests, they have to find out those that are native from the Henan province.
俊哥是上海人，
What about Mr. Cao Jun?
俊哥是上海人。
Where is he from? He's from Shanghai.
尧舜禹可能就是这个就没法考证了，具体到底是在哪个省份哈？而且古代的这个省份跟咱们
So for Yao, Shun, and Yu, the three famous persons, we cannot
这个大大的这个。
determine where they are from because
然后
they are from the ancient periods and we have no records about about their
跑
information.
的方向是不对的，我应该往右边跑，跑的。
I had the wrong direction.
这个广场蛮
I should go right, but actually
庄子，
I went towards the
我还真不知道。
left side. And this is Zhuangzi.
然后他还问我还记得，我说我。
I still remember the cameraman asked me, you still remember the first name?
我都找到了，我还得记。
因为摄像老师说，我得补特写呀，补
I
往后
never
倒
knew
400
that
遍
I have to recite all the names.
哎，这个方法好。
我们到后来，因为真记不住，太多了，河南的名人特别多。
你找了多少个呀？
我找了就10个。
How many have you discovered? About
我们是
a dozen of them?
韩非子啊，是河南。
Because too many famous people are from Henan province. Like Han Feizi.
老子好像是河南的。
还有这一趴，我都不知道。
我都在确认声调好吗？这个也没有必要把这个剪进去。
老子那个，
我喜欢这个。
老子一部非常有名
And
的
Lao
句子
Tzu,
是什么？
suddenly Luo Fei doesn't know how to pronounce correctly the two words.
老子出那个函谷关留
Lao Tzu is the
在确认。
founder of the Taoism.
我觉得你跑的那边就是河南人
And
比较
also
多。
张衡.
你小时候没有去过这个公园玩吗？
去过，但很小了，就是。
So you've never been to that park?
在黄河边上嘛，就顺带着。
Yes, I did.
游览，然后咱。
But it's quite far away from the downtown
名字
region.
一模一样。
It's by the riverside, very close to the Yellow River.
就是那个一行白鹭上。
So what's the meaning of your name? The significance?
啊，但你
一行
意思就是希望我飞得更高更远的意思。
哦，跟我一样。
那你俩的名字差不多。
不一样，所以我现在带了一个这个。
So actually my parents
白鹭。
wish that I would fly really high and far.
不，原来你俩今天在这儿都找到名字的渊源，还一样的，都是飞。就你是更
So
隐晦的飞。
both of you have discovered the secrets and the significance of your names, your Chinese names, during today's program.
雕塑都有点像。
12平均律，这是音乐学家。
音乐学家。
对，特别。
哎呀，中国真是了不起啊！
我来巩固一下。
古人做了这么多。
And also the musicians, they are from the Henan province. So you have discovered a lot of famous features, persons from the Henan province. And Luo Fei, in your country, in Barbados, do you have a habit to remember and recite all those famous historic persons?
我们的历史怎么学啊？
So how do we have our classes of
也
history?
很难说吧，我们是从原始人开始，然后
It's hard to
就
tell.
是美洲的，我只知道他们的英文，就是 Aztecs、Incas、Mayas，然后我们就会跟着他们的这个步行，他们是
Then
从南美开始，然后一直往北美走，然后
We'll
他们就会有
follow
竞争
their
一直
trajectories
到
from the
来了
Southern
欧洲
America
然后
to
就
Northern
当地
America.
也有印第安人，
没有，
没有吗？
So you also have the local
把
Indians.
他们叫做印第安
No
人，但是我们应该不属于印第安人，因为他到了美洲，他就以为我在印第安，但是他没有，他是在美洲，但是他自己不知道，所以我们不叫印第安人，其实我们就是应该就叫美洲人吧。
Actually, the Christopher Columbus, when he discovered this region, he believed that it's India, but it's not. He called these people Indians, but we are not.
确实就是嗑瓜子儿停不下来，这是因为什么？是专门有一个解释的，它会是让你的神经产生一种兴奋，就有点像什么？就像你刷视频有点停不下来，你会这样吗？
And I find that now you are
什么抖音啊什么的也停不下来。
拖延，就
对，
我要去洗澡了。
having your
一个
sunflower seeds all the time. Actually, there's the science-based explanation for that. It will make our nerve system more excited.
没有，他就是跟着我，他还没有跟上我。
So the cameraman gave you a lot of hints for the discovery of those statues.
程颐是河南人啊，就是那个朱熹程颐理学家。
And Cheng Yi
地大物博。
is also from Henan province.
这个真的没有必要。
都带一男是吗？
你们简直
我
是真
相当
的。
的这个有。
So you have raised a really funny question whether Hunan is part of Henan. Actually, they are two separate provinces.
战国时期他是楚国人。
The Warrior periods. Qu Yuan is from the kingdom of Chu.
这个要追溯到几千年前了。
So you were quite confused. That's normal because that is from the ancient part of the history.
哇哦，哇哦，导演是真的，
好不容易跟下来了，这么一个。
许
错了。摄影师说是念朕的，那念慎，慎重的慎嘛。
那就时间差不多吧。
哎，真的，摄像老师像你的 follow PD 一样。摄像老师说，哎，怎么看接了2份活，真是。
我为什么呼吸的这个声音有这么大？
因为你呼吸确实很大，累了。
你可以拍几个我跑。
哎，但是我觉得
So you're breathing hard because you are very
很多
tired
很多
by
外国人
then.
他可能会说会听，他不一定就是
And
说
we find that you know you can recognize a lot of Chinese characters.
我不觉得好看，但是还可以。
You can read and also write in Chinese,
有道理。
so you can enjoy a Chinese
大
book.
家这弹幕刷的真的这够可以的。
就等着我们的那个什么呢？等着我们的奖品赶快发。
And currently we have also lots of comments coming from our viewers.
就一个字儿都
Please be patient because we're about to have the second round of screenshot to select some others lucky stars to win the gifts of the day.
是你带过来的。
你带过来这什么绿豆糕啊？那我要尝一尝。
So you brought this to our room.
哎呀，它里边还有豆沙哎。
The pancake
看吗？
from the green beans.
太甜了，谢谢。
有点
Is it
太不好
sweet?
吃这东西来回掉沙。
Too sweet.
这个绿豆糕里边放了好多好多的油，所以它才好吃。
And there's also a lot of oil added inside. That's
你们
why
在这个
it's
文化广场在跑，哎，蒲松龄，
quite delicious.
蒲松龄，你知道蒲松龄写啥？
And we have discovered a sculpture of Pu Songling.
画皮那地方
He has a very famous
就是
literature work which is called 聊斋志异。
是那个
中国民间故事这样。
民间不是有说阴间的说法吗？哎，大过年咱别聊这话题。
This is a book about the bizarre stories.
爱上从容。
哎呀妈呀，我这手有
6万花名又一次。
你挺有学问啊。边走边说。
谢谢韩老师。
华彩少年笔试第2呢。
继续。
啊，还有笔试。
我们那节目是有笔试的。
我是真的挺开心。
这个都是拿石头雕的啊。
So all those sculptures are made from the stones.
包拯是不是河南人啊？
So Baozheng is not from the province.
不是，反正在开封当官儿。
He's not from Kaifeng City,
做的我太暴露了我的短板了。
but I know that he's been working in Kaifeng City once.
你有没有总结过，就是河南人有什么长相上有什么特点？你觉得？
So, have you discovered any characteristics about the looks of the Henan
反
natives?
正我身边的河南人都是。
来，我给2位倒点茶哈，这既然是会客厅。
我来吧。
哎，我来吧，我来吧，我来倒。
So I will add up more
中国倒
tea
茶
for
讲究
you
倒茶不倒满。
because you two are the guests.
为什么？
倒满了就是属于一种不礼貌。
In China, when we pour the tea for the guests, we should not fulfill the whole cup. Maybe 70% of the cup is okay. But in another case, when we pour the wine for the guests, we have to fulfill the whole cup
把茶倒满了。
in order to show the respect for our guests.
我要歇歇。
So for the
哎，
tea
我
and
觉得
for
那
the
你这个，你别看你
wine
很年
is
轻啊，这个
different.
传统文化知道的真的是不少哎。看来河南是很注意这种家风的传承的。
So, Mr. Xu, you are still very young, but I noticed that you know quite a lot about the rituals and customs. So maybe in your province, people are caring a lot about the transcendence of these cultures and also the rituals to the next generation. And Mr. Luo
其实
Fei,
圣诞节还有过年不是我们最大
apart
的节
from
日
that scenario of jumping into the seawater for the celebration of New Year, do you have any other options? Apart from the celebration for the New Year, we also have another traditional festival that's similar to your Lunar New Year. For Barbados, we used to be an agricultural country, a country based on agriculture. We have a lot of plantation of the sugarcane. What about the grains? Will you import a lot of grains, the crops, like the paddy rice, the wheat? Are you an importer of those goods, of those crops? No, because we are independent in the production of the crops. We produce a lot of sugarcane and then we will trade with the Europeans. For the sugarcane, it's one harvest per year. And we will organize a parade in order to celebrate the harvest of the sugarcane. People will put on beautiful clothes, and for the whole day we will go down on the streets. And also we sing and we dance. I know that in Brazil they also have the similar festivals. I can show you some photos of the festival. We have to put on the colorful clothes. So every year it's around July and August. This looks like the phoenix. This is the most important moment of the year. It's called Kadunan. I don't know how to translate Kadunan into Chinese, but it's just a kind of carnival. So the local girls, they are really enthusiastic and they are very happy. And because we consider this carnival as the most important moment of the year, we have to get 100% ready for that. So before the summer, we have to lose weight in order to look good during the festival. So I have a proposal for you. Maybe you could go out for the fishing during the daytime, and then for the dinner you can have some fish. Like that you have enough sport, and also you have the very good protein. So Cao Jun discovered 7 or 8. I have discovered 10 sculptures, and Luo Fei discovered 5 sculptures. For the people who are from the province of Henan, so now from the footage, all my errors, my mistakes are kept. And also Fan Li.
我不吃，真的吃不下来了。
还有让
这个
瓜子儿啊，
跟你说啊，这个热量很高的。
The sunflower seeds have a lot of calories.
因为临了了，就是这个亲戚到另一个基地有一段路程，怎么办呢？就揣一个瓜子，揣兜里，
对，我们也会这样。
边走边嗑。
During the spring festival, when we visit our relatives from one residence to another for that trip, for that road of walking, we will keep some seeds in our pockets so we will not feel too boring.
我觉得太好玩了，这个。
没有，还是。
看来嗑瓜子上瘾，
但是它就是，它的热量很高吗？
它的热量很高。
这么小的一个东西。
我们小时候哈，总有个感觉，就嗑点瓜子。
So the seeds have a lot of calories.
它的热量很高的，它一
Yes, indeed.
1000多卡路里。
脂肪含量。
因为它是油，对。
For every 100 grams of the seeds, then there are more than 1,000 calories. because they are the oil plants, the sunflowers. The sunflower oil comes
你
from
可以
it.
那个就是去超市的时候看一下，叫葵花籽油，就是这个东西榨出来的油。
If you go to the supermarket, you could
会很高吗？
明白。
look for the
我还是
sunflower oil, for the cooking
吃
oil,
一点。
不差这一点，不差这一口。
and that is extracted
没
from
听
the
过我们那
seeds
个
of the
说的一句话吗？不
sunflowers.
吃饱怎么有力气减肥呢？好了，看了这么多
So we
精彩的
say
节目
that
哈
you
现在是
first
我
have
们
to
有一
eat a
波
lot in order to have the
大家
energy and
福利了
strength to
央
lose
视频
weight.
的网友们送上一份新春的祝福。
So
我们
don't
的
feel
抽
so
奖环节又
anxious,
到了
just
这一次
enjoy
我
the
们请
seeds.
这个一航
And
兄弟
dear
吧
viewers,
就是双击它就可以，你看一看底
now we're
下，
about to have the
我再说一下
second
说一下，然后
round
再开始哈，发
of
送抽奖
screenshot.
口令，大话春节真的可中。
So please send the code message to
大话
us,
春节真的可中。
the
我们的一
8
航
Chinese
下一个给
characters.
你好不好？不，你说你能
不能
什么
对？
那你得赶快点，而且你这个
你赶紧发
刷屏，
我
你
赶紧发
And Wolfie,
我就不说了，
please
老师
hurry up
一会儿送我一份啊。
in entering the
你给
message.
他挤下眼儿，你看你的那个什么，真的可中。好，我们稍等他1分钟啊。
对，给我一个机会
我们马。上了，来介绍一下
We'll
奖
wait
品
for
吧。奖
1
品
minute.
刚才说了，央视频的新月礼盒，哎。
Again, we would like to introduce our gifts to
你的手好比一般
our
人要长。
也还好吧。
viewers.
这个看这个里边有小红
And you
包
have really
有我
long
们的这个
fingers,
央视
very
频
elegant
丝还有
fingers.
好想
We have the
要。
envelopes and also the notebook from our CCTV
还
channel
有我们的 U 盘，我们的笔。
哎，这 U 盘真的很漂亮。
and also a
多少
USB.
G 的？
这是多
It's
少
a
级的？
really nice USB.
不好意思，
那就不说了，不说了，我们不说了。
哎，真没写，但是我觉得它的容量应该不大不小吧。
哎，
嗯，
心意到了就行了，好吧？
还有我们的那个红围巾，就是我们的一行脖子上戴的。
我戴的这个
And
红围
also
巾
the
啊
red scarf.
有了这个红围巾啊，你一年
This one
哇哦，
真的。
天天就顺。
哎，对对对，就要这样神气的给它戴起
With
来。
the red scarf, you will have a really lucky new year.
我以为要去这么一段吃胡辣汤呢。
I believe that with this
还有我们的
red
小
scarf,
牛
you can win
牛
lottery.
气冲天来，一航给我们介绍。
And also a small mascot toy of the ox, because it's the year of the ox.
5个人。
The countdown, 3, 2,
哎，你
1.
给他念一下，给大家看看。我帮你念吧，还是你来念。
老师来念。
We're about to read out the names of the lucky stars to win the gifts.
你那叫什么？
还是韩文的。
据我看没有。
你得取中文的才行。
对呀，韩文的不
What
行
is your
中文
name?
才能进来。
It's in the Korean characters,
柯南哇，
柯南
so you are not
是
inside.
那个日本动画片儿，中国也挺喜欢看的。敏手机用户138尾号是8396，玻璃还有1、2、3、4。
Now,
就这
these
几个了
are the lucky stars that we have selected
真的可中
in our screenshot.
还有
Congratulations
送上央视频新春的祝福。那接下来我们听一首歌吧，我们大话春节的主题曲。包在我身上，哪个包
And
啊？
now we're about to
是包子的包
enjoy
还
a
是包包的包啊
song
这份喜悦
created
祝福送
for
给
the
天南
Lunar
海
New
北
Year
的小朋友
festival. And we'd like to share this song with all of you, wherever you are.
哎呀，接下来你们又去
Viewers,
哪了，
welcome
罗飞？
back.
现在我们是去
And
给
where are you
鱼按
heading?
摩。
啊，这是要干什么呀？
We're about to give the massage to the fish.
鱼变得更好吃。
这是什么鱼？鲤鱼吧？
对。
We have a way to rub the fish in order to make the meat of the fish more
中
delicious.
国吃鲤鱼多吗？
还是不多。
So this is the carp.
你们是
You had a lot of carp in China?
还好，主要是
Not exactly.
多吃中